I have just arrived from San Francisco and I am now at the Lyon Air Museum, which is connected to the John Wayne Airport in Santa Ana, California. The museum is holding a special event today, which is going to allow the general public to walk through their B-17G Flying Fortress, known as the Fuddy Duddy. I'm going to be taking a look at the various exhibits and the aircraft that's on display. Major General Lyons actually had quite a few other vehicles as well as motorcycles, and I'm about to take a look at them now. So here I go. Thank you.
Suppressing fire. That's what it's all about. Because the police at that time, they may have
had wool pants, which were both, dress pants and combat pants, which are fine. That, long johns, undershirt, the wool shirt, this combat jacket. Then it had, that was a running trench coat. That was the original. Then it had the
82nd Airborne. Check out the radio. All right. Okay, here's one of the gems at the Lyon Air Museum. It's their Boeing B-17G Flying Fortress. The G model actually had the chin guns installed, as well as the upper two cheek guns on the left and right. The reason being that these planes got attacked from the front quite often, and they needed to protect the front end, as it played such a vital role. 8,000-pound payload and powered by four 1,200 horsepower Wright Cyclone R1820 engines. This particular aircraft was a VIP transport in the Pacific at the end of World War II. It carried Dwight D. Eisenhower and Douglas MacArthur. In its civilian life, it became a firebomber and actually was in a couple of movies. The 1962 Steve McQueen movie, The War Lover, and 1970 Tora Tora Tora. I'm taking a look around outside the aircraft before I go in, And I'm really looking forward to checking out the cockpit and crawling up into the Bombardier space, because it must have been quite an experience to be up front. Okay, so after a 45-minute wait on the outside of the aircraft, I step inside the aircraft. And when I do, I immediately notice, when I look back towards the tail gunner position, how narrow the space it is in this aircraft. And to get back to that stool must have been quite a workout, actually. So there was quite a few people in waiting to go up front, so I'm just checking out the armament. And actually, there was 13 Browning M2 50 caliber mounted machine guns throughout the aircraft. And here I'm just kind of putting my hands on the hardware, and I do manage to somehow break it from its mount, which scared this little girl next to me.
I thought he said that he crossed through that door.
The cover was his escape just in case. But he would actually have
I
to
broke the gun.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was his escape hatch. I forgot.
Scared that little girl.
Yeah.
A lot of information.
Oh, okay, what's your name?
My name is John.
Wait, stop. John.
John. It seems kind of long, doesn't it?
Sure.
How fast can you do that?
That's as fast as I can go.
Did they
I
go
did-
faster, though?
Yes, you could go faster, but then you start getting sloppy.
Yeah.
That's it.
Now, let's say if I get really sloppy. Darian. You know what that would say? You see? If you look at the A, it's a dash, a dot and a dash. An N is a dash and a dot.
Ah.
Now I ran them together. Look at the P. Dash, dot, dash, dash, dot. So instead of Darian, I got Darip. Maybe 30 degrees below zero.
Yeah. That's
Got to walk along this narrow track. With the bomb bay doors open in the air, exposure 7-8 miles high. Be pretty nervy, I would think.
It's very plain, but
Trying to do it.
Super, how are you?
I'm well. How are you? What an excitement! Finally, I get to be here and inside this cockpit.
Well,
which
guess
is-
what? For me too. I've been here a year and this is my first time sitting up here.
Wow, what a thrill here!
Yeah, I never got to fly one of these. I always thought I would, but I flew DC-3s and DC-4s back in the 80s. But never got a chance to fly one of these.
Yeah, can you tell me about the controls, or do you want to wait
Sure,
for other
this is
people
your
to come?
throttles. This is 1, 2, and then down here is your 3 and 4. They split. This is your mixture controls, 1 through 4. You have just 2 settings, basic 1 to 3. You have auto cutoff, which is there. Then you bring them to the white detent, that's auto lean, and then you have auto rich.
Wow,
So
okay.
it does, the pressurized carburetor does everything for you. Not like the small planes where you gotta lean them out, watch EGT and all that stuff.
So this took a lot of manual work to fly this.
Yep. Now-
Constantly. There was nothing automatic about it, eh?
No, now the gauges up here are modern. These are. In the day, it was just strictly all black with a white line and then a little white airplane. So you couldn't tell from blue sky to ground,
Yeah.
you know. and it didn't have the ILSs, which is your navigations for your landing in fog or clouds or whatever. So basically, this side here and that side over there is the same. This is your engine oil pressure and or fuel pressure and your carburetor temperatures for 1, 2, 3, and 4. These are your RPM gauges for 1 and 2, 3 and 4, and then your manifold pressures for 1 and 2, 3 and 4.
And a modern GPS in there?
That well, this is the GPS for it's modern, along with the radio gear up here is also modern.
Because this aircraft is still operational.
The what?
This aircraft is still operational, correct? No.
Last flew in 2016.
Oh.
There's an AD out on it that says that they have to pull the wings and the engines and check for corrosion stuff, and we do not have that facilities for that here. So
Right.
sadly, this plane just sits right here. But it was built in 1945 at Long Beach, and went right straight from the factory. War ended to the boneyard in Tucson, Arizona. But then
So this was in Tucson?
This was in Tucson, and then Dwight D. Eisenhower and General Douglas MacArthur needed an airplane, so this one was the one pulled out and served the Air Force.
And they
until
flew on it.
1957.
Yeah, I did read that.
Yep.
Right on. Yeah, I spent some time in Tucson. I got to go to that, the boneyard.
Yeah.
It's an amazing facility and
Yep. Well,
place.
remember, they had 5,000 of these things they built during the war. The second the war ended, they didn't need, we had a few thousand left, so they didn't need all of them, so they scrapped them.
Yeah. How many survive?
Well, right now there's a few all around the nation that's being used as displays like this, but there's only 4 right now that's in the air,
Gotcha.
unfortunately.
Wow. It's just incredible to
Watch
be
your
there.
step when you go down to the forward bomb bay area there, and you see the bomb bay and the forward gunners.
All right. Thank you.
Have a good one.
As I move forward, I can only have an appreciation of how tight this must have been for a bombardier and 2 cheek gunners. That plexiglass bubble up front offers an amazing unobstructed view, but it must have been terrifying for incoming threats. I can see the Norden bomb sight. I can check out the 2 cheek guns to my left and my right, positioned there for defense against head-on attacks. It's easy to imagine the tension here of fighters approaching fast, gunfire rattling through the fuselage, the crew working together trying to keep the plane in the air. It's a small space, but it played such a huge role in every mission. Wow, they'd have to have their head in this bubble, looking down at this. Look at the gun is right there. This is the end of the plexiglass, or Lexan. And they attack these from the front. I gotta get out of here though now. Alright.
Thank you.
So
First flight.
I'm glad to be out
As long
of
as
it.
that's safe.
Now I can say I spent some time in a B-17.
Right.
A little bit more than I liked, but it was awesome.
That's what I said. I feel like I went through the word just walking through this plane.
That was phenomenal. It's worth the wait. Sort of. Close, yeah.
So where were we? You were talking about how the British went
I was just up front.
until the Allies came.
Whew. That was something else, let me tell you. That line took me about an hour and 20 minutes to get through it. Fortunately, I couldn't look up at the top turret, but it was nice to be in the cockpit. Super cool. Cadillac Series 62 convertible sedan. No tocar, do not touch. It's a 29 Duesenberg. Model J. Some of the armaments here are displayed. It's a 1932 Phelan and Moore Panther, Model 100. It's absolutely beautiful. Check out the boat sidecar. It's crazy. Right on. That's a beauty there. 37 Mercedes-Benz. Special Roadster. This is a Boeing Stearman. A little bit more room in this aircraft than that B-17. Must have been miserable to be in that B-17 because it's so narrow. Look at this character. Hey man, the war's over, you can get out now. "50 glorious years." Look at this gorgeous Indian. 1936 Indian Chief. Yeah, buddy. Bavarian Motor Works, BMW. They made aircraft. So the symbol actually is a spinning propeller. So what you're looking at is a 1939 Mercedes-Benz Model G4, the touring wagon. What makes this famous was Hitler's car. So that terrible monster drove around in this thing. Man, I don't know. Hitler's fat ass sat right there. It looks really heavy. It looks like it's been armored or plated for sure. The Lyon Air Museum has these live exhibits from time to time, and being right at the airport, they also have functional working aircraft. So even though it was a little expected long wait to get through the aircraft, it was certainly worth it. You know, puts you in that moment of being able to appreciate sitting in the cockpit or being at the Bombardier station and going through the fuselage. What these men endured. The museum has a lot to offer. I wasn't able to get to it all because of my walkthrough, but it was a highlight, and I'm really glad that I had the opportunity to do so. All right. Lyon Air Museum. B-17 walkthrough. I'm ready to go to the hotel. I got 5 more days of this being in Santa Ana, Irvine area.